How's it going?
Bryn, you're awake. We're making progress over here. Careful with that.
Hey, no one came back to camp, did they? Is the rest of the band still with you?
We're all here. And the leak is just about... fixed.
Hey! Wait, I just want to talk. That was incredible.
Hey, couldn't have done it without you.
Actually, we couldn't have done it without Sev. I didn't expect you to have such a deft hand with magical conduits.
I'm not... I mean... We just got lucky it held.
Not to distract from the victory, but something happened while you were gone. I saw something. Well, someone.
A Hearthsider?
Maybe. The figure was masked and standing at the edge of the camp. I think they were watching me, before they disappeared.
How friendly.
If there are people still left in the Enclave, we need to find them. They can tell us what happened here.
Yes. I was just thinking we should chase down the scary masked figure that likes to watch Bryn sleep.
Sev has a point. We need to set up a watch for camp. No one has made contact with us, but clearly they're watching. Any expectation of a warm welcome is off the table.
They've been living under the Veil for almost 50 years. Who knows how their version of Weaver culture has diverged from ours.
All the same, we can't just sit here. We don't know who they are or what they can do. If they do mean us harm, I need to investigate what we're dealing with.
Friendly or hostile, if there are Hearthsiders, we need to find them.
Agreed.
And the good news is, fixing the Loom Gate didn't just give us easier access to Glintwood, it expanded our scry's reach.
So scries are somehow connected to the Enclave's tapestry?
Every scry was built here.
This means you not only have access to the Loom Gate, but you can safely explore further.
Incidentally, our maps indicate that there is a village beyond the Hollow in a large swathe of wetlands known as Dredger's Mire.
Perhaps we'll find our Hearthsider there. Bryn, why don't you brief with Lane before your next expedition?
Sounds good.
After that, it's time to use the Loom Gate.
Why didn't you guys return using it yourselves?
We needed to take a key swatch back to camp in order to connect the two. We'll make sure you have a key swatch to connect any other Loom Gates to this one from now on. Solar, this plan to repurpose carapace to fix the Loom Gate's conduit? Pure elegance.
Sev's idea. I only had to look at the design.
Well, you did more than help. You practically finished it.
What is this? Competition of humility? You're both brilliant, just like this design.
I can agree with that.
Bryn, something gnaws at my mind, and I just need to get it off my chest, if I may.
Yes?
When discussing that the Hearthsider was watching you, you agreed with Sev that we should be very cautious. It will, of course, be your and Oria's call, but I just have to say, we have so much we could learn. If the Hearthsiders retain even a fragment of what the Enclave knew, they're still worth making allies of.
I hear you. And good point. It's just that we must confirm their motivations before we even think about sharing knowledge.
Sagacious. Thank you. I have said my piece and appreciate your understanding.
So, now that I'm done being frigid and unwelcoming,
You were only lukewarm.
sure. How about an icebreaker? To get to know each other better.
Sounds fun. What have you got?
Simple. If you were a wild animal, what would you be?
Ooh. I think I'd be in a color.
Why is that?
Aggressive, but they hunt in packs with close bonds. I love adventuring, but a kick-ass team is what makes it meaningful.
Huh. I like that.
And yourself? What animal would you be?
An eastern reef crake.
A crake? Somehow I pictured fewer tentacles and destroyed ships in your wake.
You're thinking of the big ones. An eastern reef crake is pretty small and harmless. But all crakes are misunderstood. They're incredibly intelligent creatures. And they diligently protect their eggs. They actually only attack when their nest is under threat. So yeah, I'd be a crake. Happily living underwater.
Bryn, one would think you've been fighting massive constructs your entire life.
It's a newer hobby I've picked up. On account of only having seen one for the first time recently.
Yes, it's quite something to see a massive Archon after studying their role in history for so long.
You seem a little concerned about something.
Oh, no. That Arcs are still functioning in the Enclave is a revelatory discovery. I'm elated, of course.
Very convincing.
It's just, this Archon brings up more questions than it answers. For starters, arcs of this variety tended to carry a slate bar to help break rocks. It was clearly working in the nearby mine. One must wonder whether its tool was lost in a cave-in. It's hard to say, really. Another mystery, there's no record of Archon hostility towards Weavers. Did they turn on their creators after the surge?
Is this just about the Arcs?
It's about everything. I suspect we're chasing dead ends. None of these leads fill me with any sort of confidence.
Truthfully, I've been having some of the same doubts.
You are?
Of course. And if we're alone, that makes our complicated situation, well, even more complicated.
Yeah, it does.
All we can do is put one foot in front of the other. If we're ever going to solve this puzzle, it will only happen piece by piece.
You're right about that. More pieces would help, though. Maybe if you track down other arcs, we might start to understand what's going on with them.
More information about anything trying to kill me is probably a good thing. Though it does mean getting close to the things trying to kill me, which is less good.
Yes, do try not to die in the process, as that would render the information less useful. Here to brief?
I like to know everything I can before venturing off to a new place.
Just beyond the forested hills of Glintwood Hollow lies the wetlands known as Dredger's Mire. Much like the Hollow, the Enclave prospected many of the raw materials needed for its ambitious constructs and projects from the mire. Oh, it's no coincidence you found the Ark of the Stricken Earth near a collapsed mine. Likely, it was used for the excavation of minerals and metals before the surge. I believe the natural surroundings of the mire were also rich in resources. The Enclave even settled a small village there known as Poldervale.
Which is where I might find that masked figure that was watching me.
It's possible. Regardless, do you have any questions before you head out?
What can you tell me about Poldervale? It seems like it was settled pretty far from their capital.
Indeed. Though, when you take instantaneous travel through loom gates into account, what constitutes a remote village changes. The village was likely settled to facilitate the prospecting of raw materials in the outskirts. Resources farmed here could easily be transported across the Enclave through the use of loom gates.
Apart from the village, it sounds like this is mostly untamed lands. Any expectation that it will be more dangerous than the Hollow?
I would expect so, yes. We've made camp in a way station that's pretty far from Denevron, and the Maya yet even more remote. Everything I've read says the deeper into the outskirts of the Enclave one ventures, the more wild and untamed the lands become.
You're saying my battle with the Great Ark might be looking like child's play soon?
Possibly?
Some of the others didn't seem so sure we should be trying to track down the masked figure. What do you think?
History demands we find them. If the masked figure truly is a Hearthsider, their stories and what they've lived through in here would be invaluable to our understanding of the Enclave and of the Surge.
Sounds like I'd better find them then. Thanks for the info, Lane. I think I'm ready to head out.
My pleasure. Oh, wait, I almost forgot. I didn't have the biggest role to play in the Loom Gate's repair. I'm not exactly handy with a hammer. But watching the band work gave me an idea for a new alchemical project. Its working name is a Loom Shard.
A loom shard?
Yes, it's a shard that could draw magic from a Loom Gate and bring you back to camp safely, wherever you are.
How is this different from Aurea putting me back with the scry?
Unaided, Aurea can only summon enough magic to bring you back safely, not all the valuables you might have collected on your expedition. Because this shard draws magic from the tapestry, it can bring you back safely with all you've gathered.
Thanks, Lane.
I hope I'm not prying by bringing this up, but Dharm and Aurea told me about your last band.
Oh. Yeah.
Sounds like it was pretty rough.
It wasn't great, that's for sure. I mean, I gave up everything I knew to become a weaver, and it only took a couple of weeks for me to realize I had chased the wrong caravan out of town. All that band did was drink and fight. I stuck around, thinking I might be able to make a difference if I became point, but Aaron chose someone else to take his place in the end.
You're in better hands now. I promise. Even though I'm sure your last few days with us have been a lot. Do you have any regrets about leaving?
I did have one friend in the band, Pelagia. She was their enchantress. She was actually the one who convinced Aaron to let me join them. Due to the nature of my departure, I wasn't able to say goodbye. I thought I would send her a letter the next time we stopped in a town.
Then we tumbled through the veil.
Yeah. I don't know what she must think of me.
If she's a true friend, she'll understand.
I hope so. Friends like her are rare.
That's what makes them special.
Ready?
Let's do this.
First trip through the Loom Gate is a success.
That was so awesome!
The Sodden Pass. A fitting name for the road to the wetlands.
According to the maps, you're getting close to Dredger's Mire.
Metal plates with detailed engraving. I wonder if Sola might be interested in these.
That's the edge of how far I can push the scribe. It'd be like in the Veil's shadow all over again.
Not as protective, but great against the elements.
Designed for a two-hander. Looks like it was being packed up to ship.
It'll be exciting to work off an Enclave design firsthand.
I know you're excited to explore, but first things first. Use our key swatch with a loom gate in the mire, so that it's easy to return.
Right. I'll check the maps.
Perfect. I can see the connection. We'll be able to come back whenever we'd like.
Without having to trek through all the mud.
The beauty of instantaneous travel. Keys watches are an ingenious system for connecting loom gates together.
This is Polder. The village is completely frozen.
This can't be natural.
I think it's safe to say no one lives here. Where else can I look for a heart cider?
I can't quite remember why, but something tells me we should search for a watchtower. The maps indicate there may be some nearby.
Cloud security would be active if the village was vacated.
Just trust me on this. I've got some cross-referencing to do.
All right, Bryn. You heard them.
Watchtower. Got it. Just like home. You're round a corner and a glacier's right there to greet you.
Sapper's Lake. The surrounding trees emitted an alchemical sap. It was a sought-after resource.
You know there's a trick to picking your armor when dealing with temperature.
Do tell.
If you're going to be up against extreme cold or heat, lighter armors can be the better choice. They can't provide raw protection like steel, but metals also move temperature very quickly. Lighter armors layer cloth and leathers. Much better for insulation, especially if you pick the right ones.
I'll keep that in mind. This place pulls no punches.
My darling, I suspect the way the light filters through the Enclave's veil makes you look more luminous than ever.
Stop. It'll go to my head.
Should I come back later? I didn't mean to interrupt you two.
Sorry, Bryn. Sometimes we get lost in our little world.
But since you're here, I was actually hoping to speak with both you and Sola.
Oh?
I don't know if you know this, but my wife is an extremely talented smith who was apprenticed under a variety of world-class teachers.
Well, a revolving door of mentors doesn't exactly facilitate the most stable education, especially when one of them drops dead in front of you.
Oh, details. You've made more of your varied experience than most could glean from a lifetime. Anyway, I know you always hoped to further your education with the Tarmakine Smithing School's techniques. So, I asked Lane to look into whether or not any Tarmakine smithing was ever practiced here in the Enclave.
Oh, doll. You shouldn't have. It's sweet, but there are other priorities.
What could be more pressing than helping my wife fulfill her lifelong dreams? As luck would have it, there were Tarmakine smiths here before the search.
Really?
Perhaps our daring point might be able to keep a lookout for anything those smiths might have left behind.
I mean, if it's too much trouble.
Of course. I'd be happy to help.
Perfect. I'll leave you to discuss the details.
Anything in particular I should look for?
The Tarmakine smithing techniques are exceptionally complex, and as such, pretty rare across the Maida. It might be too much to hope for anything close to a completed armor set, but prototypes or even notes pertaining to the style would be useful. I'd take anything you can find.
You might be in luck. I found a schematic, as well as a set of engraved metal plates. Is this what you're looking for?
Yes! This schematic is for a Tarmakine helm, and the plates prototype the technique.
Could we forge a helm using the schematic?
Maybe. Give me a sec.
Sola, any thoughts on how I might go about withstanding cold temperatures while I search for the key swatch?
With the right materials, any design for armor could give you some resistance to frost magic and cold temperatures.
What kind of materials could I bring you?
A Kala hide would do the trick for one.
There are plenty of those prowling in the outskirts. Thanks for the insight. The Tarmakind helm is beautiful, Sola. Can't wait to test it out on an expedition.
I am honestly kind of proud of myself right now. I wasn't totally sure I was going to be able to do that. Like I said, this style is a lost art. I know it's just a small piece, but I'm feeling on top of the world right now.
As you should. This is pretty cool.
Before my mentor, Hilda, passed away, and my apprenticeship was cut short, I always saw myself opening up my own smithing school. Specifically to pass on the Tarmakind techniques and prevent them from being lost for good. Feels like another lifetime now. Obviously that dream died with Hilda. It's been like 10 or 15 years since I've even thought of that.
With that helm, you've brought Tarmakind back to life. This dream of yours looks far from dead where I'm standing.
You're not entirely wrong. I guess I just haven't considered having my own smithing school in a long time.
You can do anything you set your mind to, Sola.
You're right. I'm pretty awesome like that.
That's the spirit.
This has all given me a lot to think about.
So, we're hunting a rogue key swatch in a frozen village. When dealing with temperature, your magic can directly counteract it.
I'm guessing we fight frost with flame?
Just so. Like building a fire on a cold night, except much faster. And the night has teeth and talons.
Unfortunately, I don't have a flame strand yet.
It's a tall order, but defeating a drake would allow us to weave a strand of its power.
Drakes and I are due for a reckoning, anyway.
Spoken like a true point.
Oh, good. I caught you both.
We are thoroughly caught, love.
I can't stop thinking about the Tarmakind helm we forged, Bryn. I'd written off my early training as a lost cause, but you've sparked my hope.
We'll search high and low, Sola.
To think of it. Traveling the world sharing knowledge of a lost style of armorcraft.
Yes. I suppose. Oh, I just need to tend to the forge before it cools. Excuse me.
Always so diligent about her forge.
I don't think that was about her forge, Dom.
Oh?
I'm not sure what, but something's bothering her. Just a word to the wise.
Bryn, you are a very good friend. And I know exactly what will lift her spirits. This may prove to be a bit of a challenge, but it's one I know you can handle. I need you to do some harvesting. Pushing your magic into the pattern of a great foe so that you can tear a strand of its power free. This is a critical step for any point. We can only do so much from defeated foes. To push your own mantle requires a harvest.
Yes. The most dangerous part of a point's work.
Our target will be an Ash Peak Drake. Strands torn from their patterns will allow you to conjure gouts of flame. Delightfully destructive.
Like
all things Arban tackles, it's a team effort. Whenever you pull a strand from a foe, I take that captured magic and weave it into your mantle. As a bonus, there are byproducts that I can use to make Solar a small gift.
Win-win. I get magical powers, you get husband points.
We know they've been flying in the skies above Dredger's Mire. It's just a matter of tracking one down and doing what you do best.
My first drake harvest. Hey, Lane. Got any ideas on how I might go about retrieving a key swatch from a frozen village?
I imagine long underwear might help.
Maybe an alchemical solution?
I'm teasing, of course. Drinking a frost shroud phial would do the trick. It makes cold temperatures much easier to withstand. I have some phials already prepared for you. I had the perfect alembic for them, thanks to our recent improvements. Bryn, do you have a moment?
My favorite lawkeeper? Absolutely.
I'm the only lawkeeper here, though.
Yes. Doesn't mean you aren't my favorite. So, what do you need?
What was it? Oh, yes. I'm looking to do some experiments with alchemical reagents, and was wondering if you could source me some.
That sounds like something I could help with. What's the experiment?
I won't waste your time with specifics. I just think it'll produce something helpful, if my hypothesis is correct.
Well, my last lawkeeper sent me out all the time for herbs that he'd inevitably just stuff in a pipe and smoke.
Oh. No, that makes sense, then. Yes. Sorry. I think I can help Oria with the Watcher's Wisp.
Oh. After what happened in the Vale Shadow, any improvement to the scry is worth making.
Exactly. I noticed that she needs a break before guiding you again. The tangles were so bad in the shadow, she couldn't use the wisp at all.
The scry has been better inside the Enclave, but we shouldn't take any chances. What do you need?
There's a plant that only grows here in the Enclave. It expresses a clarifying magical essence. I think I can use it to strengthen Oria's connection with the scry.
That'd be really helpful.
I think so too. Now, am I missing something?
Where can I find the plant?
Oh, right. At night, in the outskirts, they glow, so you won't be able to identify them during the daytime. And I believe they mostly grow in clusters near bodies of water. Not rivers, but ponds, lakes, you know.
Go to the outskirts at night and grab some glowing plants near bodies of water. Got it.
Well, they have a more accurate name than that. I won't overcomplicate it. But they're referred to locally as Diane's Chorus, which refers to a moment in the Enclave's history early on when their second leader, Diane Ramenos, was elected by unanimous vote. She was the right person at the right time for the Enclave and brokered several extremely lucrative trade deals.
The more you talk, the longer you'll wait.
Sorry, yes, please, go. Bring them to me as soon as you can. Thank you.
Harvesting. Such an intriguing term for so critical a task.
Why do we call it that anyway?
My favorite explanation is that it implies a thoughtfulness. When we harvest a creature, we pull something out of its essence. It is, fundamentally, a violent act. But we harvest predators, ones that pose a threat to us. There are peaceful or merely territorial creatures that use magic, but Weaver custom is to never harvest them.
That makes sense. I like that we're selective about it.
Further, Weavers do not seek to eradicate these creatures, merely keep them in check. Slaughter them all, and we not only lose access to more strands, but also risk disrupting the ecosystem. You've heard of Renland's famed attempt to cull their Akala population, and the mass loss of crops due to too many deer? Yes, same thing. Even something as wild as an ash peak drake plays a role in the world.
A lot of memories come rushing back when I think about Tarmakind.
Good or bad ones?
Both. I remember the smells. We used very specific woods for the fires when we were alloying. precise heats and times and sounds. The guiding tap my mentor would do before every hammer strike. Here, slower, faster, breathe with me. No, foolish girl, again.
Sounds a little relentless.
No more than the combat drills you and Oreo have done. It's all practice. Making your muscles carve a groove so deep the action is automatic, so that your mind is free to focus on the intent.
You miss it?
Not all. I miss the stability of a school, knowing where your tools are, always. And I miss that crusty old battle axe of a mentor. I had so much to learn from her. Still, maybe this is my chance. Pick up where I left off.
So, Sola explained to me that she can forge new gear with the resources I bring back from expeditions. But did you want to take a cut of my finds before I hand materials over to her?
What? No. Why would I do that?
My last point. Aaron used to take most of what I brought back from my training expeditions.
I'm beginning to suspect he was even worse than I thought. How did you join them in the first place?
When I was 19, Aaron's band came to my town in Carlhaven. We rarely, if ever, got visitors. They had taken a wrong turn in the mountains and wouldn't make the trek out without restocking on supplies.
Of course, Aaron's navigation skills were inadequate.
Yeah. Anyway, our merchants wouldn't sell to his band. Khanhanders were still paranoid about strangers in the wake of the Independence War. So his caravan was stranded for a few days. I took it as an opportunity to learn as much about weaving as I could. Aaron wouldn't give me the time of day, so I began talking with their enchantress, Pelagia, instead. She even began to teach me a bit of magic.
That can't have made you popular in your town.
It didn't, but I knew an opportunity like this wasn't going to come along twice. I cut a deal with Aaron. If I bought the supplies they needed on their behalf, I could leave town with them. Unfortunately, people saw me supplying their caravan. When I went home to pack, I found an angry mob on my parents' doorstep. There was talk that my mother might lose her position as a Dalrad over my actions. When I got inside, she was furious with me. We argued until nearly midnight. My father tried to mediate, but eventually, she stormed off to sleep. I remember just collapsing on my bed after that fight. I was heartbroken to have hurt my parents and sure that the caravan had already left. But under my pillow, I found a mantle and a note from Pelagia telling me where they were headed in the hopes that I might catch up. So I packed. I was almost at the door when I realized my dad was still smoking his pipe by the fire.
Did he try to stop you?
No. He just told me that if I wrote often to tell them I was safe, my mother would forgive me. He was right. She did. Eventually. Then we hugged for a long time. It took everything I had to let go and walk out the door. In a few days, I caught up to Aaron's caravan. My life in Carlhaven disappeared overnight, and suddenly, I was a weaver.
I was born into the world of weaving and magic. But so many like you need to desert their pasts to join it since the Surge. Do you ever regret it?
If I hadn't helped his band, I might not be here now. But the way I left things with my family, I can't help but feel a little ashamed that things didn't end better.
That I can understand. If it helps, there were some mistakes I made early in my career that I thought I'd never let go of.
But you did eventually?
I did. Time never fails to put things in perspective, particularly when you get to my age. Everything you went through with Aaron will make sense someday. I'm sure there's more of him to tell, but for now, thanks for sharing. the Archon expands. Pre-Surge, the Arks trod this passage daily to transport and farm resources from the outskirts.
hallowed pyre shrine all the way out.
Diane's core is collected. Lane will be pleased to see these. Another drake.
This one doesn't seem as aggressive. It must not be rutting.
Should leave you alone unless you get close.
Glowing plants acquired and delivered. How are things on your end?
Oh, I'd almost forgotten about these. Thankfully, the alchemic preparation is, well, prepared. Let me find it. Here it is. All I need to do is extract the clarifying essence, and that should do it.
It's wonderful to watch a genius at work. So, when can I go test this out?
I was hoping you'd ask. I need some more ingredients. More of the luminous plants, for one, and some ink-cap mushrooms, if you wouldn't mind.
What are you cooking up now?
More Diane's chorus means I can mix up plenty of this solution for Aurea. Ink caps? Well, that's a secret for now.
I'll allow it. I'll be back once I've grabbed everything on your sundry list.
The great market of the outdoors. Huh. I hope you're able to find some good bargains.
I always do.
Not too heavy, not too light. Not as protective, but great against the elements.
No, too weak. The only way to strengthen a power is through active harvesting.